Did you know that there's a new sequel to Chicken Run that just came out last month? It came out the same day as The Boy and the Heron, which was terrific. Watch that instead, because Dawn of the Nugget kinda sucked. There were some funny moments and interesting plot points about animal cruelty and the evils of capitalism that could have made a good movie, but it's just a super Disney-fied, by-the-books, sellout sequel that tries to do the exact same thing as the first, except totally misses the uniqueness and originality. However, I thought this would be a perfect time to talk about the original film and one of my favorite childhood traumas. Spoiler alert for the 2000 animated comedy hit children's film, Chicken Run. Like many others, I have a complicated history with this movie. I wasn't shown many scary movies when I was a kid. The worst stuff I had seen were things like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter 3. So when people asked me what the scariest movie I had seen was, I usually lied and said the darkest movie I'd ever heard of, which was Silence of the Lambs. But in the back of my mind I knew, for some reason, no other movie scared me more than Chicken Run. The premise of these poor chickens in a labor camp working all day only to be baked alive into pies scared the dickens out of me as a kid. This scene specifically gave me more nightmares than anything else in my entire life. I don't know what my kid brain was seeing in this scene, but it scarred me. And then one day, as an adult, I was pondering this movie and the trauma it had inflicted on me, and couldn't believe I hadn't realized before. Chicken Run is about the Holocaust. The metaphor isn't subtle whatsoever, I just hadn't seen Chicken Run since I learned about World War II, but the film was largely inspired by the 1963 World War II epic, The Great Escape, which takes place in a German POW camp. The soundtrack opening up the film has a marching drum and flute. We're introduced to a flock of nervous, neurotic chickens that also live in a prisoner of war camp, where they must lay eggs or be eaten. They sleep in bunks and have a solitary confinement cell for when Ginger tries to escape. Mrs. Tweedy, the authoritarian owner of the farm, is a terrifying Himmler or Goebbels-esque Nazi figure, sizing up the chickens and butchering them with a cold eugenics kind of evil to her. The Tweedies order a Unit 731 medieval torture device of a pot pie oven machine for their farm. This machine is clearly a metaphor for the gas chambers in concentration camps during World War II, and what convinced me the film is about the Holocaust specifically. Ginger and Rocky, the extremely American rooster voiced by Mel Gibson, are almost cooked alive in the pot pie machine in a scene that genuinely triggered me. Rocky previously agreed to teach the chickens how to fly, but he chickens out and ditches them because he can't actually fly, but feels guilty and comes back, maybe so that the American rooster couldn't solely be credited with saving the chickens from the Holocaust, or maybe because that's just very American. I don't know. But the chickens build an airplane and use it to fly away before Mrs. Tweedy can cook them all into pies. The climax is also terrifying. The scene where Mrs. Tweedy is dangling from the plane with an axe is nightmare-inducing, and she basically gets boiled alive in an atomic gravy mushroom cloud at the end. All of this dissecting and teasing is to say that I actually love the original Chicken Run, and have a lot of genuinely fond memories of it. Aardman animation is always incredible. This is one of their best, and insanely the highest grossing animated stop-motion film of all time. The entire Holocaust metaphor isn't necessarily problematic. I think it works. It's just kinda weird and unnecessarily horrifying for a kid's movie. But this film is funny, the animation and references are great, the story is captivating, the villain is incredible, and I could recommend it to just about anybody. Thanks for watching. For more content like this, hit like and subscribe.